Hi, I'm glad you're here. Come on in. I'm Don Sumner, the author of Horror Movie Freak and the editor-in-chief of besthorrormovies.com. And we've got something great in store for you here right now. George Romero's 1968 classic film, Night of the Living Dead. You know, to call it a classic doesn't fully cut it because Night of the Living Dead really defined the modern zombie genre. Sure, today there's lots of zombies. There's the runners, there's the brain zombies, there's demonic zombies, lots of species, but it all started with George Romero and Night of the Living Dead. Of course, George Romero didn't invent the horror movie zombie. But the early zombies, they were more the white-faced slaves to their master, usually got there because of voodoo, like White Zombie with Bela Lugosi is a good example of that. But the zombies, you know, the flesh feasters, lumbering across the countryside looking for human flesh to feast on, that's from George Romero, and he didn't really care where they came from. Really, they just kind of show up. Night of the Living Dead was a very low-budget independent film made for $114,000. Critics panned it, too gory, too disturbing. Then it went on to make $30 million internationally, and what do the critics know anyway? It's filmed in black and white, even though there was color filming available, George Romero reports, for budget reasons. But I think the benefits to the ambiance and some of the things that could be done for effects because it's black and white, like all the blood that you see, Bosco chocolate syrup, and the wounds and the gashes, that's all mortician's wax. And I don't want to give anything up, but when the little girl finds a very creative use for a gardening trowel, don't worry. She was sitting into a pillow. Her mom wasn't even in the room. So whether you're a seasoned horror freak or just a casual fan with high aspirations, Night of the Living Dead is an absolute must in your repertoire. Not only did it influence the zombies that we love now, but quite possibly all the great horror from that era. Sam Raimi with The Evil Dead, and Tobe Hooper with The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Sean Cunningham, Friday the 13th, and even Wes Craven with Last House on the Left. Would they have had the gumption to get out there and really break the rules, go for the gore, go for the terror, offend a lot of people, if George Romero had not really paved the way to making that happen? Maybe, but the influence of George Romero and Night of the Living Dead is absolute. So one word of warning, especially for aspiring horror freaks. If the version of Night of the Living Dead that you have seen or are planning to see has any extra words, 30th anniversary version, colorized, or if it was made in any year other than 1968, it doesn't count. You gotta watch the original, the version that we have here. In fact, let's go ahead and watch The Night of the Living Dead.